Yeah. Yeah, fingers frozen, call it ice on my grip. Wallet getting heavy, yeah, it's making me trip. Charts doing backflips, but I'm steady, don't slip. Never fold, got a diamond script, no eclipse. Wolves in the market, they circle and pray. I'm a bull on parade, charging every payday. Paper hands crumble, they just fade away. I'm stacking sats, building castles where I stay. Diamond hands, I ain't letting it go. Stacking up, yeah, I'm watching it grow. Riding waves, yeah, I'm surfing the flow. Up and down, but my faith never low. Diamond hands, yeah, they gleam and they shine. Through the storm, I just hold the line. Day and night, yeah, I'm always aligned. Crypto king, yeah, the throne is mine. They panic sell, but I'm calm in the chaos. Holding through the dip, sipping coffee in my loft. Charts got them dizzy like a carnival ride, but I'm planted in my seat, roller coaster with pride. Mining blocks like I'm digging for gold. Future-proof vision, yeah, the story unfolds. Haters throwing shade, but my fire stays bold. Generational wealth, let the tale be told. Yeah. They panic sell, but I'm calm in the chaos. Holding through the dip, sipping coffee in my loft. Charts got them dizzy like a carnival ride, but I'm planted in my seat, roller coaster with pride. Mining blocks like I'm digging for gold. Future-proof vision, yeah, the story unfolds. Haters throwing shade, but my fire stays bold. Generational wealth, let the tale be told. Yeah. Yeah. They panic sell, but I'm calm in the chaos. Holding through the dip, sipping coffee in my loft. Charts got them dizzy like a carnival ride, but I'm planted in my seat, roller coaster with pride. Mining blocks like I'm digging for gold. Future-proof vision, yeah, the story unfolds. Haters throwing shade, but my fire stays bold. Generational wealth, let the tale be told. Yeah. 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 Let the tale be told.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge in financial freedom. Today, I've got a few headlines. One of them is going to be about the Genius Act and a potential rewriting of it, and the pushback that is happening from the crypto industries. And the next one's going to be about the Pentagon, and a little bit of a potential move I'm seeing off of that. There are some big contracts when it comes to the government and software, and looking like someone's going to be getting a new contract with them, and we'll dive into that one after we get you prepped for some success today. You know what I got pulled up in the background? It is that stock heat map. Let's dive on into it and see what we're seeing this morning, because it's looking just a little bit red. We do have Apple sitting down 1.97% from its close yesterday, and this morning looking to the downside at 0.35%. We've got Nvidia down 0.14, seeing a little bit of some green this morning, up 0.83. We've got Berkshire Hathaway sitting up 0.69. Light buying pressure this morning, up 0.05. We've got Amazon sitting down 1.84. Looking to the downside this morning as well, down 0.18. We've got Eli Lilly up 0.32. Looking to the downside, 0.39. We've got ExxonMobil up 1.03%. Seeing some light sell pressure this morning, down 0.03. We've got Tesla looking to the downside off of its close, 1.64%. Was sitting in some light sell pressure this morning, now up 0.02. We got PNG sitting up 0.7. Looking to the downside this morning, 0.48%. We've got Microsoft down 0.79, sitting in that light selling zone, down 0.05 this morning. We've got Google down 1.14, and this morning sitting in that light sell pressure zone, down 0.05, and Meta also sitting in the red off of its close, down 0.5%. Looking to the downside this morning, 0.18%. Let's hop over to the crypto side of things. We're seeing a lot of green bubbles here on this daily. Not too unexpected. After some of that massive sell-off we had seen, we did do a little bit of a trade on link yesterday. I will let y'all know it did not play out. We were looking for the short, and we got a little bit of some continuation towards that area I had talked about for resistance. We're sitting at that level right now, so might have to take another look at that chain link chart, maybe take another stab at that trade. Y'all let me know what you're thinking for this morning. If you got something else for me to take a trade on, go ahead and throw that asset in the chat. JR, since you're in here, we're not doing poopy doopy coins, so pick something in the top 20. All right, we got Bitcoin sitting down 0.2%. We've got Ethereum up 1.4. We've got XRP sitting up 0.1. We've got BNB up 2.6%. Solana up 1.9%. Tron sitting up 1%. We've got Dogecoin sitting up 2%. Cardano sitting up 2.5%. Chainlink up 4.9%. We've got Hyperliquid down 1.5, Stellar down 0.3. We've got SWI sitting down 0.5, Bitcoin Cash up 0.9. We've got HBAR also up 0.9, Avalanche up 1%. We've got Leo token holding that number 19 spot with 0% change on that daily, and Litecoin to wrap it on out, sitting up 0.5%. Those fear and greeds sitting in the greed for stocks, just some light greed dough, sitting at that 56, no change from yesterday. I do think we see a lot of change for tomorrow with the Jackson Hole Summit and Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking. Crypto side, making a little bit of a move towards the upside after we held some of those nice levels to the downside. Saw that little bit of a pump back into our fair value gap, and we got that move back to 50 and neutral, looking extremely neutral on the chart as well. We'll get to that in just a second. We could go up, we could go down. There's liquidity above us, there's liquidity below us, and we're just waiting to see what we really go grab. We've got a little bit of liquidity starting to pile up down here at the bottom side, looking like people are probably putting some longs in there, sitting at 112, 800 for that bottom side liquidity. We might see that continue to stack on up. We've got 115, 300 for that top side for our liquidity. Does range all the way up to 115, 300. So a little bit of a zone to the top side on this 24-hour chart. We've got that 3-day and any explosive moves looking to the top side. We do have a little bit of an area of resistance that we had talked about, kind of close to that psychological $115,000 price point. That's right where that top side liquidity is sitting. We do have that liquidity back down here at 112,100. zooming on out, taking a look at that weekly, we've got a little bit of liquidity to the top side. When I say a little bit, it's a lot. There's quite a bit sitting up there. We've got 70 million at 119,500. There's a nice little hot zone directly above us. We do have a little bit of some resistance to the top side of us. We will get to that in just a second, and that's going to be a little bit of a barrier to getting to this top zone. Let's hop on over to that economic calendar. We don't have a lot going on today, but we do have initial jobless claims this morning. That's going to be that big market mover, looking like a increase on those continuing jobless claims, and those initial jobless claims coming out a little bit hotter as well. We will be watching this quite heavily this morning. Going to be that big market mover, and also might dampen that chance for a rate cut even more. Scrolling on down a little bit further, we get some existing home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern time. To see a little bit of a slowdown on that as well is not too unexpected. We've been watching the trend on the housing market, and we continue to see more and more houses staying on the market for even longer. There's the most houses on the market since 2019. I don't expect that to change anytime soon. We are waiting for a rate cut to really see that happen. If we got any alt requests to throw in the chat, go ahead and throw them in there now. We did have a few news articles to take a look at, but nothing too crazy. We got Caliphate in here saying, how are you feeling about the S&P 500 today? Well, we can take a look at that after we dive into some Bitcoin. We've got JR in the chat. He said bullerish. So apparently he's kind of with that neutral range on our fear and greeds. He's a little bit bullish, a little bit bearish. He's probably got some trades in both directions going on, if you know JR. Let's see what else we got in the chat. We got Dylan VA in here. Good morning to you, sir. Jesse laughing about the poopy doopy coins. I'm not doing them either. I'm not even trading. Trading isn't for brokies. I've accepted it. Oh, well, JR sitting on the sidelines right now? I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. You probably got like 3 trades going on. Let's see. We got Jesse Gluck in here as always. Good morning to you, sir. I'm glad that you're here every single morning doing those moderator duties. It helps out quite a bit. Let's see what else we got. As long as I thought about it, they're hitting the like. Oh, as long as I thought about it, they're hitting the like. Well, I appreciate that, Jesse. Definitely hit that like button, the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We got 3 shows here on the Piper Academy and a lot of alpha. So let's take a look at this Bitcoin chart, see what we're looking at. This daily still looking a little bit bearish here. We did reject off of the midline of that fair value gap. Oh, we were sitting in the fair value gap. Looks like we're dropping below it right now. So waiting to see if this level to the bottom side of us really holds up. We've got some nice higher lows off of this one, but looks like we're gonna continue a little bit more to the downside. We got 111,800 being that area we're really looking for some support. That is those equal candle body closes off of the daily on that all-time high before we made these new all-time highs here. Retesting the old all-time high has been a target level I have been looking for. We do have a little bit of liquidity around that area as well, so an area of interest for me. If we can't hold that level, which could definitely happen, we do have this giant fair value, not giant, but a very heavy fair value gap to the bottom side of us. That is coming in at that golden pocket on our fib extensions here. That's 110 300 for that golden pocket fib extension. We do have that fair value gap coming in at 110,600, ranging all the way down to 109,600. So about $1,000 area for you to really see some price action on. We have not retested any of that area, and we moved through it with some quickness. We'll kind of have to see how that all plays out going forward. We would have to lose that old all-time high for us to get to that zone though. So look for that price action at 111,800 first, and we will see if we can get a little bouncing in that area. Zooming on in, taking a look at this 4-hour here. 4-hour looking a little bit toppy. That prime oscillator is sitting in the green, but it is getting a little bit of a rollover here as that 4-hour money flow continues in the red. That MACD also getting some rollover here, looking to break to the bottom side of our indicator line. So might see a little bit more sell-off coming our way here. We did reject quite heavily on this wick off of the midline of that fair value gap, and then really closed that candle body on the top side of that golden pocket fib extension there. So looking like quite a bit of some resistance to the top side. We'll kind of have to see if we can make that nice sweep of some liquidity down here at 111,800. Zooming on in, taking a look at this hourly. Hourly does look like it has a little bit more to go here. Money flow pretty in the red as that prime oscillator getting that continued move towards the downside there. There we go, moving on over so you can see it a little bit better. Getting that continued roll over, and MACD breaking back below our zero line as we remain below the indicator line there. So waiting to see where support is at the bottom side. We might see a little bit of some bouncing at about that 112,700. That's where we got those equal candle bodies. Let me get that pulled on up there. Might see some short-term bouncing on that area. See if we can make that push back up to our fair value gap, and then continue towards the downside with how those higher term time frames are really looking. Let's take a look at the 15-minute and the morning. We are looking a little bit bottomy here, but we are getting a little bit of a rejection off of the bottom side of that fair value gap. That was 113,600. That was that bottom side of that fair value gap. Looks like we're losing it all over again. Waiting to see if we can find some support down here. I would look for a little bit of a continued rollover if we continue to see this money flow coming on out. That doesn't mean we don't get those short-term bounces in the meantime on our way down, but the overall trend is still looking a little bit down. All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500 real quick. So why so bullish on Link if you're not on meds? It's because someone said $300 chain link, JR. You know, if you watch the Piper Academy, you've heard all about it. But quite a bit of a change because they were saying $800 chain link. I like chain link. It has some amazing utility, but I think $300 is quite the crazy prediction there, especially considering that it hasn't even come close to its old all-time high, and Bitcoin has made several new all-time highs, and normally you see those alts moving together, at least the big strong alts raising on up with Bitcoin. XRP made that new all-time high, and Link is still sitting at some doo-doo levels. So I don't know. There's no big news on Chainlink. There's nothing to really push it with some quickness towards the upside, but it's moving towards the upside. We've got the S&P 500 losing that platinum pocket on our fib extensions. Let's zoom this on out a little bit. Take a look at that 4-hour there. And we'll get a short-term fib extension pulled up. Actually, might just pull up a fib retracement from some of that for some of our local area. We do have this low sitting down here to our high up here. Got a little bit of some bouncing off of that 236 there. Let's zoom it on in so you can see it a little bit better. Got a little bit of some bouncing off of that 236 level. We did pull very, very close to our CME gap there. That's an area we are looking to potentially see some bouncing action off of. We got very, very close to the top side. Got a little bit of a move back towards the upside there. 4 hours still looking pretty bearish. We are sitting below our indicator line with that MACD. We've got our money flow still in the red here. 2 bearish divergences that have stacked up as we continue to make those new all-time highs, and that prime oscillator rolling on over there. We do have a CME gap right below this CME gap as well, so we will get that one pulled up if we end up breaking into this CME gap. 4 hour looking a little bit bearish. 1 hour does have the potential for a little bit of some continuation here. Looks like we finally filled that CME gap, so let's color that in black so we know it's filled. Looking like we saw a little bit of some rejection off of the top side of that, but could continue to move towards the upside here, make a little bit of a move back towards that platinum pocket, $6,437, and then really see that strong rejection there that pushes us back to the downside. That'd be a little bit of a lower high on your shorter time frame, but would still want to see us hold at that 382. That would continue to have us making some higher lows. So that's kind of what I'd look at for the S&P 500. Shorter term time frame does look nice for a little continuation here. Seeing us move to the downside this morning would not be too unexpected though, before we get that move back towards the top side there. 15-minute looking a little bit toppy here, but really depends how that market opens. We are seeing a little bit of some red in the pre-market right now, so seeing that move back to about the 50 here, 6,391, and then continuing on to the upside might be that move to watch for on the S&P 500. Let's get over to our news articles. We had 2 of them, and one of those gonna be about your Genius Act. The crypto industry group slams a banker's push to rewrite the Genius Act. Scrolling on down, 2 of the crypto industry's leading advocacy bodies are pushing back against Wall Street bankers' latest attempt to roll back United States' newly minted stablecoin law. In a joint letter to the Senate Banking Committee on Tuesday, the Crypto Council for Innovation and the Blockchain Association urged lawmakers to reject recommendations from American Banker Association and state banking groups. As reported, several U.S. banking groups led by Bank Policy Institute have urged Congress to tighten the Genius Act by closing what they call a loophole that will allow stablecoin issuers and their affiliates to pay yields indirectly. In a letter sent last Tuesday, the group warned that failing to address the gap could drain as much as $6.6 trillion from traditional bank deposits, threatening the flow of credit to households and businesses. All I gotta say to that is boo-hoo. If the banking institutions are worried about this, maybe you should get a little bit better with your industry and find a way to compete against crypto. And if you can't compete against crypto, maybe you should adopt crypto and get with the times. Losing $6.6 trillion just sounds like a big wah, and they're crying about it. And if you had any kind of technological advancements in the past, let's say 20 years, as technology has absolutely run rampant through society, maybe you could keep up with the times. You got people like PayPal, who have kept up with the times. They're the number one mover of money cross border, and they've put a bit of a damper on the banking industry, and they've also adopted crypto. They're using crypto to move money across borders. Banking industries just crying about it, trying to use their money and their influence to make change. And we'll kind of have to see if this one works. Uh, the American government is a big proponent of stablecoins because they buy U.S. debt. And I don't think that they're really going to move too far away from that position. And anything that really helps those stablecoins to buy up U.S. debt, they're going to be okay with. So we will watch this one going forward. We've got the Pentagon cancels a decade-long software upgrades and eyes Salesforce and Palantir. A little bit of some bullish news for Palantir. They've already got a $10 billion contract with the U.S. government, and they might be getting another one here. After spending more than a combined decade and costing well over $800 million, the United States military is scuttling 2 new completed software projects. Reuters first reported last week that the U.S. Navy and U.S. Air Force had been set to see the work completed on a software overhaul for their respective antiquated human resource system. Instead of the work being completed, the programs are being canceled, with the work put on hold. The rationale is to allow other firms, notably Salesforce and Palantir, to compete for similar projects. It has been suggested that this amounts to a costly do-over, one that is entirely unnecessary given how far along the projects were when they were canceled. This is a puzzle to those of us on the outside looking in, and it would help the tech community if someone were to pull the curtains back and let us see more for ourselves. Sometimes the government isn't the best at making new software. A lot of their stuff is very outdated. If you go to any government website, they're normally very, very poorly written. They don't operate the smoothest. So to see some outside influence being done on this might be a little bit helpful to the U.S. government. Get them with the times and see if something flashy or that actually works can be made for them. So we will watch this going forward, but some more bullish news for Palantir and Salesforce as well. Don't know much about their company, but yeah, might be a decent time to buy. Let's see what the chat is saying. And then we will take a look at some alt requests. I didn't really see any alt requests in the chat, so if you got any alt requests for me, go ahead, throw them on in there, and we will get to those. We got K Diggity sliding on in here. Good morning to you, sir. Let's pull up that that next little chart we were looking at. We were taking a look at OKB. Let's see what the chat was saying first. Jesse saying 7 of the 15 people forgot to hit the like button for the stream. Don't let me get after you. Oh, Jesse on top of it this morning. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the content. Hit the thumbs down button if you aren't. Engagement is engagement, so we don't mind either way. Let us know if you like it or you dislike it. Let's see. I'm not willing to lose any to be honest. I've been talking and trading with experienced people that are, and that's part of the issue. Other issues going against my better judgment. Well, just get that system down, JR. Make some rules, stick to the rules, and you'll be profitable. Takes a little bit of time. You're still learning a little bit. There's always more learning to do. I'm still learning myself sometimes. I've been in here for years, and there's always more to learn. There's always more to adjust on the strategy. You get some new information, and you take that into account. So always more to learn and always more to do. So let's see what we got. Chart DZNTZ, please, says JR. Oh my goodness. What is this poopy doopy coin you're looking at? DZNTZ. All right. Well, I've got that one on the list, and we will see what that poopy doopy coin is looking like, JR. I had a request for OKB. We talked about this a few days ago. OKB burned $200 million worth of tokens, and this has led to an absolute demolishing move towards the upside. We got a request for Edge as well. Let me get that one on the list. Edge. Haven't heard of that one, so it'll be a naked chart. OKB is also a poopy doopy. Yeah, it was requested by Jesse. He was wanting to know what was going on with it. They got a $200 million burn of tokens, and this led to an absolute incredible push towards the upside. You got this measured move to current price of 322%. A little bit of a manipulation on it, burning tokens, making that supply just a little bit shorter, but keeping your market cap the same will lead to a move like this. JR, oh, Jesus, sir. You are ridiculous. We do have a few fair value gaps that we could come back to really close. These are pulled from the hourly here. You can kind of see this one. We found some support on the top side. This one we haven't come back and touched on. We got that nice strong bounce off of the platinum pocket here. That daily looking toppy. This hourly also looking a little bit toppy, but money flow still in the green. We'll kind of have to see what this 4 hour looking like. 4 hour also looking a little bit toppy here. So we would just need to watch to see this money flow really start to slow down. 15-minute getting a nice little bit of some cool off here on those oscillators as we move a little bit sideways here. So moving sideways on top of that one line on our fib extensions. MACD getting a little bit of cool off. Prime oscillator getting a little bit of some cool off, but money flow staying in the green. So we'd kind of have to see us break below some of the highs from this range, 175.99, to really see that continue on a break towards the downside. If not, that would just be another higher low there. So let's get that one drawn on out for you. We got very equal levels right around here, 176.24. That's that area to really see us a break below, and then see what happens at that platinum pocket. Looks like we're just moving sideways on top of that one line for now though. So OKB still could make some continuation towards the upside there. We do have that 1618 coming at 248. Would be an area of interest towards the upside if you can continue to see that money flow coming on in. Would expect some pullbacks sometime soon. Can't really say when, as that money flow's still in the green. I just wanted to take a look at it, Darren. I was wondering what was happening with it. Yeah, that was a massive token burn. So that was what was going on with OKB. Is that not actually a project there, JR? You never know. Yeah. So you just having a little bit of fun in the chats. So let's see what we got. We got Steve Hickey in here. Good morning to you, sir. I'm on a computer. I get to hit the like button. Hey, got confused. You posted tomorrow's live stream here now though. Oh yeah, I was doing some research this morning, so just went ahead, made the live stream for tomorrow as well. We will be diving into some of that we talked about on the Discord the other day. So definitely going to be an interesting episode for tomorrow. If you haven't already seen, we'll be diving into Michael Saylor and his whole Bitcoin strategy, the little bit of a house of cards that he's built on top of it, and some of those promises that he's going to be breaking, and we'll kind of have to see how that all plays out. I see a request for XRP. We can take a look at that as well. XRP, got it on the list there. Let's take a look at Edge. Haven't heard of it before. Looks like it's on Coinbase though, so maybe a decent project. Looks like might be breaking trend here. That is the 15-minute. Let's get it pulled up to a different time frame. Oh, wow. Nice and big and move towards the upside on that daily. Let's see where we can get a fib extension pulled from. So we have this low to our high to our low here. Looking like that 236 is that area we're doing some battle with right now. Could potentially see a little retracement there. Let's get that hidden. See what we're looking at for a fib retracement in this area. We got that fib retracement from the lows to our high there. Looks like we saw that nice strong rejection off of the 236 on our fib retracement. Let's get it locked so we don't move it around. And could be coming back down. We do have that 50% directly below us. That'd be an area of interest to kind of see if we get some bouncing. That would make a higher low and then would allow us to make some moves back towards the upside. So if we do hold that 50% line, some upside targets for a new high would be coming in at that 97-cent level. That's where our platinum pocket fib extension is. If we don't hold that, looking back down towards that platinum pocket on our retracement would be something I would kind of watch for here, as that golden pocket is a little bit weak. Making another lower high there on the platinum pocket at 42,716 would kind of be something I would watch for, especially with this being a little bit of a newer project and that massive move towards the upside there. Let's get a bigger fib retracement pulled up from the whole move and see what we're looking at. For the whole move, 50%, we got that nice little 50% bounce here. So that golden pocket coming in right around where that platinum pocket was on our local area. So 37 cents would be that macro fib retracement level to really watch for. 38,663, that's going to be that golden pocket on our macro fib retracement there. Comes in pretty close to the local fib retracement and the platinum pocket level. That's where we saw a little bit of some bouncing off of before we got that next little leg up there. So that's that. Those are those levels to the downside I would really watch for, as we're losing a lot of these key levels here. The 382 is directly below us on the macro. That's coming in at that 58-cent level. So lines up pretty closely to that local fib retracement. So those are those levels I'd kind of watch for. If we get a little bit of some bouncing off of the 382, would look back towards the upside. We did have a little bit of some resistance directly above us at 75 cents. So that's a short-term area of resistance to really get above and then see what happens after. That would make this a higher low, and then that would continue with that upside trend there. Could see on the shorter term time frame here a little bit of some bouncing action with how bottomy this is. So a 382 bounce at that 58 cents, and then see what happens after that. Probably see that strong resistance coming back in at our fib extension level, 63 cents. That'd be a little bit of a resistance area to get above. The higher term time frames was a little bit bearish. Short term might see a little bit of some bouncing action. So overall, I would look down. That's just because of how much this is absolutely ripped towards the upside, though. You do have this being a massive pump towards the upside of 1,200%. So to see it get some pullbacks, not too unexpected. I don't know anything about this project, so I can't say if it has a lot of utility that would hold it up. But this cycle, utility hasn't always mattered. So let's see what we got in here. Zoahab in the chat. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day. We got Jatum in here as well. Hope you're having a great morning as well. Let's see what we got. That's right, JR. Technique is what matters. Yeah, yeah. It's not the size of the fib, it's how you pull it. BC just bringing the sauce. So you have to like the stream, says Jesse. Well, I appreciate that. Let's take a look at some XRP that was requested as well. Probably the last one that we're going to have some time for. It is 5:23, almost time to wind that show on down. Send you all to the morning motivational video to start our days off right. We did get a nice little higher high here, really holding that key level that we had wanted to see held. That's that 382 and $2.78. That was a little bit of a buying zone for us. We do have the potential to continue to the downside, though. Let's take a look at that weekly, really see what we're looking at on the weekly. Get it zoomed on out just a little bit there. There you go. That weekly is looking a little bit like you could see some continued downside here. You do have these massive green candles. Retesting some of these levels down here would not be too unexpected. Let me clean that chart up just a little bit. Get from the actual strong key areas we would be looking for, because that was looking just a little bit messy. Let's get that cleaned up. There we go. We do have some levels to the bottom side that would be of some interest. We did have $2.65 being a real resistance level before we got that nice strong bounce to the upside and a new all-time high there. So 265, an area of interest if we really lose that. 236 on our fib retracement. We do have another level coming in below that. 252, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty close to a level that Piper was talking about yesterday. We do have a little bit of some divergence here on our MACD. That momentum looking like it's slowing down just a little bit here on the weekly, making that higher high, making those lower lows here. You did make a lower low here on the prime oscillator as well. So a little bit of some divergence there. We'll kind of have to see how this all plays out. If we get a little more downside on Bitcoin, we'd definitely get a little more downside on XRP. We are coming in with a little bit of a higher low here, but could definitely change that really quick as we're printing that nice red candle here this morning. Daily does have a bearish divergence here as well. Did play out a little bit, but with how that weekly is looking as well, could continue to the downside very easily here. You've got your money flow sitting in the red. You did have that true 7 clip out just a little bit here, but prime oscillator still pointing down, MACD still pointing down, seeing a little bit of some sideways momentum on that prime oscillator, but that MACD still pointing down quite nicely here, not getting any kind of curvature as it's breaking below that 0 line. So watching that short-term time frame money flow, seeing if it can bleed over into the higher term time frame would kind of be what I'd watch for. Let's see if we got any areas of interest to the top side there. If we do get a little bit of some bouncing, you might come in to that just below that $3 range. looking like this would be an area of interest, $2.95. Let's get that drawn up as a short-term area bounce. You did see that nice little bouncing off of it and then continuation towards the downside there to get a little bit of some bouncing action here and then continue on up with how the shorter term time frame is going to look, because it's going to look a little oversold. 4 hour is continuing to the downside here. MACD getting that continued rollover, prime oscillator getting a continued rollover, waiting for some more reversal signals to really start flashing on that 4 hour. We got the 1 hour sitting a little bit close to bottomy here. So that's where you might see that short term bouncing. You do have some nice areas of support down here at 283. So that'd be a short term bouncing area to really watch for. Comes in with the wicks right there, and you got that nice little equal candle body touch. So a nice little sweep of liquidity, push back towards the upside. Might see a little bit of some hold up at that level there. Could come in a little bit short, make a higher low, continue up to our short-term resistance area, and then see what happens from there. That short-term area of resistance does look a little bit weak with that breakout there, but definitely saw very strong selling pressure coming in around that level. Let's see what we got here on the 15-minute and the morning. 15-minute and the morning could see a little bit of some bouncing. Money flow still a little bit in the red here. We do have two reversal signals that have flashed and a bullish divergence, but getting that with some continued lower lows and lower highs there. Let's get it zoomed in a little bit better so you can see it, making those lower lows and those lower highs here. Nice little flag out action though, so could definitely get that push back up towards our resistance area, and then continue on to the downside with how that higher term time frame was loving. BC a kid because I love. Hey, that's the same way I am. So I'm glad y'all having some fun in the chats this morning. Let's see, we got a bull div on the likes today, says Kelefant. Most definitely. I guess people weren't liking the content as much today. It is what it is. We do our best every single morning, and we appreciate everyone tuning on in. Don't get me started on some of the stories I have about Jesse abusing people that don't press the like. Oh goodness, I would love to hear those. So let's get them going another time though, because it is 5:29 and time to wind the show on down. We do have two other shows here on the Piper Academy. That's going to be that morning market report at 10 a.m. with Piper and OC, that place where you get the breakdown of your data. We do have 2 data drops coming out this morning, so make sure to tune on in so you get the breakdown of those data drops. We also have Trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A great place for all you degens like JR to learn some trade skills and, really refine those trading strategies. Until then, though, I will see you tomorrow morning. We will have a very interesting show. So, going to be diving into Michael Saylor and strategy. So, I will see y'all at the next one, and I will see you in the chats until then. Make sure to wake up because today's going to be a good day.